Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Jeff Parker with us. Well, welcome. Happy Friday.
Good morning to you.
I swear, I feel like I just saw you yesterday. It was Monday. Things are just going too fast.
Pretty regular schedule now.
I know, it is, it is. What do you have for us?
Okay, I'll start off with numbers. Unfortunately, what we have received in the last couple of days is that the Orange County numbers have been put out on their dashboard, and we have a little bit of concern that how accurate they are, and I'll walk through that. And the reason I say that is I think the numbers that you're seeing up there in the per case rates, that positive rate's still at 11.7, which is above the 8% that's being required by the state of California. And our cases per 100,000 are way above the 25. Mm-hmm. But over to the left, I wanted to mention that our cases at only 506, which has been good if in relative terms. We've seen a lot higher. But if you look down there, when it talks about the actual tests received, it's a minus number.
Yes.
And when there was a contact to Orange, is that they must have been a compilation of a lot of data that came in, and so they're just trying to figure out if they got it right. And so this is showing as a negative number, which it can't be, obviously.
Right.
So the real question is, if that becomes a positive number, are those positive test cases that are at 506, are they going to jump?
Right.
And get a lot higher? That's the concern we have.
Right.
Obviously, the other concern that Orange County is facing lately is over this last week, we've had a number of high death tolls. 17, I think, is the second highest one-day toll that Orange County's had since the COVID-19 has been taking in numbers. So that's real unfortunate. On the good side, though, on the right-hand side, the ICU beds and the ventilators, that's number of available beds has gone up a little bit. It was down like 32%, and then got it now up to 38%. And the actual hospitalization of people is actually going down. And if you go to the next graph, if you can show that on hospitalizations, right there, you can see that that blue line is trending downward. So that's a really good sign.
That's a great sign.
And that's one of the key factors, obviously, because that's after the fact. Usually you get that positive test and then hospitalization's coming. So
right.
Hopefully we're turning the curve again positively, that people are getting back to wearing the mask and doing that, and not as many people getting hospitalized. So
exactly. Exactly. In fact, it's not just Orange County that numbers are going down. I understood this morning that the entire country is going down. It wasn't a huge amount, but nonetheless, it's a lower number than what we've been reporting, so that's fantastic.
So that is good news, and we'll keep you posted, especially on Monday. I'll come back, and hopefully they'll have all the other information corrected, and hopefully we'll see a continued flattening or downward trend.
Let's
hope we want to get off that list, that California list. That gives the county and everybody a little bit more flexibility with regards to how they want to operate.
Exactly. Great. Thank you for the info.
So I have a couple other things, which is really good news. Starting tomorrow, and reservations starting this morning. In fact, as we speak, we're starting the reservation process. We're going to open up Pool 4, which is an additional pool. And this is going to be considered our kind of recreational pool. And what I mean by that, it's not swimming lanes. So this will be social distancing requirements, and you have the deck, so people can just, if they want to come out and hang out at the deck, they'll be able to do that within social distancing categories.
Okay.
And then in the pool, same thing. If they just want to exercise or they just want to lounge in the pool, they'll be able to do that. The difference is that this will be an hour-and-a-half reservation versus the 45 minutes where people were actively swimming.
Yes.
So that gives more flexibility with regards to that. So the first reservation, again, this morning, and last reservation will take up to about 4:30, from 3 to 4:30 this afternoon.
Okay.
And then tomorrow and through the weekend, you'll be able to reserve for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay.
And then we'll be back here Monday starting that new reservation system, which will add not only Pool 4, but we're going to add some additional lanes to 2 and 5.
Okay.
So our capacity is going to grow with regards to how many people can enjoy our pools.
That is wonderful news, and with these hot temperatures this weekend, that is going to be nice. So better make that reservation right now, because everyone's going to want to go. Now, it's only for residents, though, no guests?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're still only residents, And again, that's because we want to continue to,
Right.
to prioritize the safety and health and welfare of our residents here.
Exactly. Oh, well, that's great news, great news. And then we also went to doubles for the tennis and the paddle tennis and pickleball, and now you're opening up pools. This is really good progress, and I know it's been very difficult for everybody, and they're just dying to get back to a normal, but, you know, we just can't do that right now.
And it's nice because we have these outdoor activities that we can, and fresh air is a good thing along with that.
Right.
So we're following the protocols from not only the state, the CDC, but also in those categories with regards to have a special activity.
Okay. Now, something that I had talked to you beforehand, which totally threw me off. I had no idea this was going on. But you're saying there is a coin shortage.
Yes, there is a national coin shortage, and this occurred due to the fact that people weren't going out, number one, so they were staying home. And so when they did go out, people were using ATM cards, credit cards, because they didn't want to handle the coins, because that was being handled back and forth between people. So people went away from using their coins, and as a result of that, a problem situation has occurred, not just nationally, but specifically for the village. We have a lot of residents that use quarters to use the laundry facilities. United has a lot of laundry facilities, Third has a number of them, and these people are saying, we're going down to Bank of America, we're going to our local bank, and they won't issue them any quarters anymore because they don't have them either.
Yeah.
So in order to address that, and we started looking at all our alternatives, could we shut the machines off, could we do this? But what we do right now is when we collect the quarters, we actually weigh them and then ship them off to the bank. We have dusted off, literally, our old quarter machine, which takes the loose quarters, counts them, and bags them into the little $10 bags, right?
Okay.
So we've cleaned that off. We actually sent the machine in to get repaired, kind of updated and cleaned up. That machine's due back today or tomorrow. So next week, I'm going to be able to tell you when we're going to be able to get those coins started to be, we'll collect them, we'll count them ourselves, we'll rebag them, and then we'll be able to set up a program where we can, probably using a couple of clubhouses, set up a program where people can come and buy probably $10, maybe $20 worth of quarters, so that we make sure that we have the capacity to supply everybody that has a need. If we let everybody buy $50 worth of quarters, we wouldn't be able to meet the need for everybody. So it's a combination of calculating that out and getting ready for it. So I'll have more detailed information next week.
That is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. But I mean, it certainly makes sense that you wouldn't be circulating. Now, what about if people gathered up all of their coins that they had and they went to that coin machine that you could do at the grocery stores, and that, I wonder where that ends up circulating back in.
I don't know where that money's going, and I would suggest if you do have a lot of quarters, keep them, especially if you're using it, then you can use it in this laundry facilities, and then we'll reuse them and get them back out to our residents as soon as we can count them and make sure that we're accounting for them appropriately. We don't want to have a problem with the finances on that side too. So like I said, I anticipate getting the machine back today or tomorrow. And then next week we'll have the protocol for how we're going to get those quarters sold back to our residents.
All right, well that is a bizarre thing, but thank you very much for that information, and glad you guys were able to repurpose that ancient counter.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Remember, boys, save your quarters. Start looking through the couch. You might find a few lying around. We'll be right back after this.